So yeah, very, very welcome. And what will happen is I'll just say a few words and then we'll do a guided meditation practice for about half an hour, finish at 7:30 our time. And if you're here for the first time, you don't need to remember anything. It'll be fully guided. And the idea is you're able to just rest back into your experience, let go of some of the things that maybe you're worrying about, let go of the past, let go of the future. And we just have 30 minutes space to breathe. Fantastic. But before we move on, I just want to mention this is Pain Awareness Month in September in the UK, and we're offering a 10-day course, email course with guided meditations for free during the month of September. So hopefully Mark has found the link. And there it is, wonderful, in the chat box. We'll also post it at the end of the class, end of the session, because it's not great to be going off following the link when you're about to meditate. So we'll also post the link at the end of the session, and you can follow the link. You can sign up for free for the month. It's free for the month of September, and several people from last week are already doing it and said in their comments that you're finding it helpful. So that's wonderful. Good. So I was wondering what to do tonight. I always like to just sort of about half an hour beforehand, I think, oh, what should we do tonight? And certainly where I live, and I think probably in most of the UK, there is a sense of the seasons changing. We've gone from this period of incredibly hot, dry weather that went on and on for ages to typical autumn weather. We had massive thunderstorms yesterday, torrential rain, sun, bits of wind. And for those of you in other countries, this will also be a time of change in the Southern Hemisphere, moving towards the summer, of course. So I thought we'd just do a meditation on change tonight. I think the change of the seasons is such a fantastic reminder that everything is indeed changing all the time, that the nature of life is change. And one of the reasons why we suffer in life, one of the reasons why we struggle, is because we don't live in harmony with that. What we tend to do, is it's odd what we do, because if we have something nice, we grab hold of it, we want it to last forever, and we're disappointed that it fades away inevitably. And if we have something painful, we think, oh, that is going to last forever, and we push it away. We think, oh, I don't want this, and we push it away. So we sort of solidify it as if it's something that's going to endure. So in both instances of either trying to make the pleasant things last and then being disappointed, or assuming that unpleasant things will last and then causing ourselves pain through this kind of extra layer of, oh my God, it's going to keep going for a long time and it's going to ruin my life. Both of those things cause us lots of additional suffering that we can let go of because everything is changing. So if something's difficult and painful, its nature is change. So even physical pain, they can feel very solid, very fixed, very static. If you really dive inside it and examine the sensations, you realize, oh, it's a flow of sensations. No two moments of pain are exactly the same. And likewise, things that are pleasurable, when we examine those closely, we realize they too have the nature of change. So learning to live with change is very liberating. And we can learn to, in the famous words of William Blake, we can learn to kiss the joy as it flies. So the present moment arrives. If there's pleasure, happiness, joy, we enjoy it, but we don't grab hold of it with that sort of sticky grasping, because the longing for it to last means it kills off the pleasure in the present. The classic example is if you were the group of people and someone's brought along a box of chocolates and you like chocolates, and it's a box of chocolates where there's maybe two or three of each flavor. And so you choose your favorite one, and then the box is going around, and you start getting anxious quite quickly that someone else is going to choose your favorite one before it comes back to you, and your favorite one won't be left for you to have a second one. So you don't enjoy the one you're having at all because you're worrying about, oh, everyone else is going to eat that flavor that I particularly like. And imagine if you were just able to think, yeah, this is really nice. I'm really going to enjoy this chocolate. And if I get to have a second one after it's gone around, well, that's a bonus. And imagine what it would be like when you've got pain or discomfort to acknowledge it with love, with kindness, with softness, with a sort of tender heart. You don't suppress it. You don't pretend it's not happening because then you're rigidifying again. So yeah, this is painful, but it's changing. It's changing. And it may, well, it will not endure in exactly the same way. It won't. Even if you feel like your pain is ongoing, it's actually lots and lots of different moments and it will have a different flavor in each moment. And when we really examine our sensations with this kind of objective appraisal, as it were, you might discover that this experience that you think is painful has actually got little pleasant things within it. Sometimes tingling can be pleasant. There might be a temperature quality that's pleasant. So the practice is to come closer to what's actually happening, to receive the moment with an open heart, just let it in, live it fully, let it go. Let it in, live it fully, let it go. And that means we have this rich and present life rather than a life that's just full of longing for things to last or full of fear that things will last. We let go of those two extra things and we just live. We rest in each moment with a vivid sense of presence and aliveness. And that can just be quite a different quality of life. So let's have a go. Let's have a go at this. Um, the first thing to do is to choose our position. You can do the practice sitting, you can do it lying down, you can do it standing. Um, the main thing is just to ask yourself what position is going to be as comfortable as possible, and yet I will stay awake if that's what you want to do. You might just be thinking, great, I'm going to have a nap. That's also fine. But if you want to stay awake, then choosing a position that will support that. And I always say to be fussy, so you don't need to just slump into a position and put up with that. Think, could I do some little adjustments to be a little bit more comfy? And then if you want to, you could close your eyes or else you could just soften your gaze. It's completely up to you. And beginning to settle into the position that you've chosen. And having a sense of the weight of the body resting down into the chair, into the bed, into the floor, whatever it is that we're resting upon. Many of us have habitual tendencies to grip, to tense, to hold on. And what's it like to rest and to let the support beneath us receive our weight? And to help with this, if you want to, you could take a few deeper in-breaths. And on each out breath, have a sense of letting go a little bit more, arriving, resting, yielding, settling. So letting go of the past, letting go of the future, resting in each present moment. When you're ready, allowing your breathing to find its own natural rhythm, letting go of efforting around the breath. And allowing our awareness to begin to drop out of the head and to pour down into the body. And as soon as we're in the body, we're present. The only moment we can feel sensations directly is now. Past sensations are a memory, future sensations are an idea or a fantasy. So coming inside sensation in the body is a way of beginning to arrive in the present. So let's feel the sense of contact between the body and the surfaces resting upon. So if we're sitting, this will be the buttocks resting into the chair, maybe the backs of the thighs on the chair, the feet on the floor. If we're lying down, it'll be the back of the body, the back of the head. Having the arms either resting at the sides of the body, palms upwards, or having the palms of the hands resting on the body somewhere, maybe the hips or the belly or the ribs. We're standing, resting down through the soles of the feet and having the hands resting at the side of the body. If we're sitting, we can have the hands resting on the thighs or resting in the lap. And to help us come a little bit deeper, let's imagine that awareness is pouring down through the body and filling the feet and the legs. And I often say that I like to imagine awareness is like water filling the legs. Of course, water is fluid and changing. So receiving the experience of the legs into each moment. We receive it, we let it go, we receive it, we let it go. So there might be experiences that we would normally label pain. Let's see if we can let go of that word and simply receive a sensation. Discomfort, maybe unpleasant sensation, but noticing how that experience is continually changing. So we can let go of this assumption of endurance and rest inside the flow of sensations, never exactly the same one moment to the next. Maybe there's pleasant sensations, maybe warmth, tingling, sense of energy, contact with the clothes. Maybe they're strong, maybe they're subtle. Doesn't matter. What's it like to enjoy the pleasant sensations without grabbing hold of them with a grasping attitude? We receive, enjoy, we let go, moment by moment. For some of us, there might be numbness in the legs. If that's the case, then we receive that experience into awareness and let it go moment by moment. And allowing awareness now to pour up inside the whole torso. Got the hips, the buttocks, the front of the body, the back of the body, the sides of the body. Some movements and sensations of breathing in the torso. Opening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Again, let's be curious. Are there any sensations anywhere that we would normally label pain? Maybe in the back for many of us. The maybe in the guts, chest, the belly. So we receive these sensations with a tender quality, but seeing if we can let go of the sort of fixity of the label pain and let it be unpleasant sensations arising and passing into this tender and kind field of awareness. Maybe there's sensations that are pleasant, warmth, tingling, softness perhaps. Receiving these fully into awareness, enjoying them and letting them go, enjoying them, letting them go. So we're becoming more vividly present, more vividly alive. Receiving experience and then letting it flow out of awareness again. Moment by moment by moment. And the shoulders and the arms now. Allowing awareness to pour through the shoulders, pour through the arms, all the way to the hands, fingers and thumbs. So maybe the first thing we can do is come into the hands and see if they're resting into the support beneath them. If we're sitting or lying down, if we're standing, just letting the hands hang lightly. So we can let go of gripping in the arms and the shoulders. And again, is there any experience that you would normally label pain? As if it was a thing, had a certain permanence. So we come closer, feeling into the actual sensations, the unpleasant sensations, and notice how they are continually changing. There's no such thing as pain as an object, just the flow of unpleasant experience moment by moment. Opening to it with kindliness and letting it flow out of the moments. And pleasant experience likewise, warmth, tingling, buzzing, softness, ease, whatever it is, really letting it in, enjoying it, letting it go. And to appreciate pleasant experience without automatically grasping. Now allowing our awareness to pour back up through the arms, shoulders, into the neck and the head and the face. Coming right inside, letting the jaw, tongue, lips be soft. eyes soft. And seeing if we can feel into the physicality of the head. So it's a limb of the body. It's part of the body. So there'll be sensations, maybe temperature, maybe something unpleasant, maybe other experiences that are pleasant. Receiving everything to a field of kindly awareness and letting it go. Letting go of the habits of resisting the unpleasant, grabbing hold of the pleasant. And resting in the flow of experience, moment by moment by moment, just as it is. And broadening to be aware of the whole body. This great cloud of sensations, arising and passing, arising and passing. Some unpleasant, some pleasant, some intense, some subtle, some dull, areas of numbness, whatever it is. Practicing being fully present, vividly alive, and then allow experience to pour out of the moment. It's like a great river. Pours in, pours out, pours in, pours out. What about our emotions, our feelings? Tuning into our emotional weather right now. Again, sometimes we can really rigidify around our emotions. We think the difficult ones will last forever. We assume the pleasant ones, the joyful ones, won't last. So we live with these twin afflictions in a way of fear of the difficult things enduring, and fear of the pleasant things passing. What would it be like to simply be with experience moment by moment, letting go of these twin fears, being vividly alive with this sense of flow and change deep within us? And sometimes this resting into flow has its own pleasure, has its own release. Feeling a bit more aligned with the truth of things, that everything's changing. Now let's let go of any effort whatsoever and just sit, just lie, just stand. Nothing to do, no one to be. Absorbing the practice. We're ready, beginning to bring a little bit of movement into the body, but seeing if we can do this in this fluid way. So noticing how movement is an expression of change. The body moving through the air is sort of parting, quite beautiful. I can feel my hands moving. It's as if the air is kind of flowing around my hands. Coming into bigger movements however we want to. If we've been lying down, if we want to come back to the screen, doing that gently. Being careful not to strain the body, or you can stay lying down, of course. Wonderful. So thank you all so much for practicing together. And for those of you who are here for the first time, I hope you found that helpful and really, really warm welcome. We're here every week, same time, same place. And yeah, just a reminder of the course. We've got this 10-day email course. It's about 15 minutes a day. You'll get an email with a link to a recording, methods for managing pain and illness. And it's free through the month of September because it's Pain Awareness Month. So it's our gift to the world. So you can just click on that link that Mark's put in the chat box if you want to access that. So Hector's saying the course is or could be available in Spanish. That's a really interesting question, Hector. I don't think it is at the moment, but with AI tools, it's incredibly easy to get translations now. So you could try that. You could just try getting the course and then sticking in an AI tool. And it's amazing, you know, we used to have to employ translators, which unfortunately for the translators is something that AI can do quite easily. So thank you for the question. Good. So if anybody, I will stay on for a little bit and then people write in the chat box what they noticed if you want to. And for those that want to slip away quietly, then have a good week. And thank you so much for coming. And lots of people are saying, well, several people are saying they're finding the course helpful. That's really great to hear. Thank you. Hmm. So Eileen, thank you. Rigidity is a big theme for me at the moment. So more flexibility is welcome. It's fantastic. I think this tendency to sort of crunch down around our experience is something that so kind of habitual. And to release that, it can be life changing to learn to rather than crunching down to open up. Because I think that's the basic gesture. Rather than doing this, we do this moment by moment by moment, and that can be life changing. Hazel, thank you. That was so relaxing and so nice to think about change in the seasons, just like our bodies do when dealing with pain. Thank you. And Bronwyn saying off to sign up for the course. Fantastic. Bridget, thank you. Really helpful today. especially as daughter goes back to uni next week, which is tricky change here for me. Tricky change here for me, but excited for her. Also, good reminder during health crash that there's still constant changes. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it is, I think September seems to be just an interesting month, sort of a busy month for many of us. Seasons changing, back to school, end of the holidays. For those of us in the UK, and I think other countries probably have that in their own ways and different seasons. So good luck with all that, Bridget. I hope it goes all right, goes well for your daughter, and that you're able to ride the change and that your health improves. Karen, thank you for Jamala, Mark, and everyone for this evening and for the 10-day course. How would it be? So much less tiring. I think we grip to avoid underlying pain, but it makes it such hard work. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so how would it be to let go? Karen's saying it would be so much less tiring. And pain is really tiring, isn't it? So if we can do anything to lessen the burden, then that's good. And I think you're right, we grip to avoid it, but then that just makes it even more exhausting. And Lizzie, thank you for that lovely meditation. I'm doing the 10-day course too. It really helps. And Jackie, thank you so much for Jamala and Mark. I really enjoyed the meditation today. I feel very refreshed and calm. That's wonderful, Jackie. And I always find those comments so interesting. I mean, I totally agree, but it's so encouraging, isn't it, that doing nothing other than, sitting quietly, working with the mind can be refreshing. Because often we think we have to do something in order to become really refreshed, but we do nothing other than work with our minds, work with our awareness. And lots of other thank yous. So Laurie on YouTube says, I'm enjoying the 10-day program this week. It's such a lovely gift you have provided. Thank you. So that's thanks to the team. It was the team's idea to give it away in September, which of course I really endorsed and supported. I think it's such a lovely thing for us to do. Yeah. Penny, I have noticed how much I have pushed pain aside. Mm. And Marion, so many ings, pushing, pulling, letting, wanting, when all I need is being in the moment. Thank you. That's fantastic. Marion does these wonderful little poems. So many ings, pushing, pulling, letting, wanting, when all I need is being in the moment. Thank you. And Mel, many thanks for this evening, plus your commitment to each week. Thanks also for the company of all those who joined. So just to say, Mel, that I really love doing Space to Breathe. It's really not, I don't see it as a job or anything like that. I come, I practice with you all. I feel refreshed. I get loads from it. So thank you all for giving me this opportunity to practice with you. In fact, the team recently said to me, do you still want to do it? Because I've been doing it since March 2025. And I said, yes, it's a highlight of my week. I definitely want to keep doing it. Mm. Kathy, thank you. That's the first time I've been able to really understand how to have an attitude that can pay attention moment by moment. That's really good to hear, Kathy. Um, Karen, thank you. I have deep feelings of sadness, grief, and loss arising in life currently. I came to the session in the hope that it will be helpful. My neurons leaned in at the concept of change, so thank you. This is just what I needed to be reminded about, especially when such sadness can feel so entrenched and deep. I sobbed quietly while listening and resting. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, it's beautiful, Karen. I'm sorry to hear that you've got such deep sadness, and wonderful that you came. And of course, tears are changing, aren't they? Tears are flow. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, things like sadness can feel very solid and enduring, can't they? But even that experience is always changing. And Julia, thank you for this practice and also for the course. I am finding the seasonal transition difficult as usual. So it's useful to be reminded that it's all part of life's flow. And Fiona, I'm about to become an empty nester, and other son has gone into supported living. and change at work. So trying to cope with it. Yeah, that sounds a lot, Fiona. Yeah, maybe I think the word cope is interesting because that can have a kind of, for me, cope can have a connotation of sort of struggle. So maybe, I don't know, it might be interesting to come up with another word. I am trying to flow with it, maybe. Flow with it, yeah. Just play around with that for yourself. Cynthia, this practice reminds me of how I grip the pain when I get a pain flare up. Remembering how impermanence is part of the experience is so important to manage the experience. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think many of us do. We get pain, so then we grip around the pain. We have fear of the pain, and then the pain gets worse. But to let go of some of that gripping and fear can be helpful. Johanna, and actually just to say about that, it's not easy. It will, for many of us, it will just come back again the next moment, and we release, and it comes back, and we release, and that is also the practice as well. It's a training. And Johanna, I have regular discomfort and swelling around my stomach. I hate it. So this was very helpful as a reminder to accept and feel gentle towards my body. Thank you. Okay, and then Fiona, you're mentioning about having trouble registering, and Mark's given you a good reply there. So if you just look at the chat box, yeah. Helen, many thanks, Vidyamala and Mark. I like the idea of not rigidifying around the emotions. They can feel so stuck and repetitive to the point of soreness sometimes. Thanks also for the 10-day course. Have a bit of catching up to do though. That's fine. Those emails will be there forever. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? How we can rigidify around our emotions to the point of soreness. That's very evocatively put. Yeah. And Dorota, thank you, Vidyamala and Mark. I'm going through flat move and I have all the things you talked about. I resist moving out of my current place and I'm very anxious about what's coming. This change is necessary and can't be avoided. How to enjoy where I am at now. Today was a very useful meditation for me. Thank you once again. Yeah, so you can, all of you can find the meditation on YouTube if you want to do it again on the Breathworks YouTube channel. And then Katie, I like the idea of letting go of the idea of endurance. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Letting go of the idea of endurance. Because the idea, oh my God, it's going to last forever. Then we have that thought and then we don't want it and we grip and we push away. And then, of course, it does last because we're caught up in that sort of behavior. So yeah, letting go of the idea of endurance. And I often like to say actually that mindfulness is quite distinct from endurance. You know, we are learning to be with our experience, which is a very powerful thing, and that takes courage. But we're not learning to endure in a kind of, oh God, we're just got to stay with this. We're learning to be with and then resting in the flow. And as I was saying today, it's ever only this moment and to receive this moment. And Bridget, constant change reminder, always around, as I now seem to be in darkness since the start of the meditation tonight. I know, yeah, the, the nights are drawing in. That is a true fact. Good. Okay, so thank you, everybody. We've come to the end of the comments. And maybe, Mark, you could just pop in the link for the course again one more time. So for those of you who would like to do the 10-day course or pass it on to anyone, someone's passing it on to a cancer unit, which is fantastic. Please do that or pass it on to friends. Then just sign up. Yeah, brilliant. And you'll start receiving their emails. Good. Thanks, everybody. Go well.
Bye. Thank you.
See you next week.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
It's lovely, Vidyamala. Thank you so much.
Good. Pleasure.